Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I would like to share with you my MLM story, or multi-level marketing, network marketing, if you will. So the first MLM that I was ever introduced to obviously was Avon. I think that's kind of everybody's that one, or Amway, I guess, is like everybody's like the very first ones, like the OG ones. And I started doing that because I watched The Hills growing up as a teenager and fell in love with that show. And the main star on there, who was Lauren Conrad at the time, Elsie, she partnered with Avon's, like, I guess they're a younger little sister branch called Mark. And I bought the starter kit. It was literally the only thing. So I never bought anything to sell. I had the books, like, sent to me in this starter kit. This thing was super expensive, too. I think it was, like, $150 for so much, like, makeup, which I think it was just like an eyeshadow palette, mascara, lipstick, and then like blush, and I think like some makeup brushes, and like this big bag that it came in. Basically, moral of the story is I thought, well, she bought this stuff, so I'm gonna buy this stuff, because back then those were our influencers. Those people on MTV, those people were our influence. And when we see somebody like that who on the show and even in real life, I absolutely would have trusted her opinion. Not that that's saying anything against her. She probably had no idea, because at the time she was also very young. I don't know, for whatever reason, I decided to, I'm going to sign up for this. I want this makeup. Did it, got the little kit, got the books. Didn't really understand that I had to sell things to people, right? So that went nowhere because I had no idea. I was only like 18, I think. And I just wanted some makeup, And being that I worked, like my first job ever growing up, as soon as I could work, was in a makeup store. It was called Dainty Looks or Dandy Looks. It doesn't exist anymore, like at all. But it had like, it was basically like a little Ulta. It had your major name brands. It had Too Faced. It had Urban Decay. It had, what were some of the other ones in there? Stila, I think, was in there. There was a bunch of stuff. It was mainly, though, like, you could tell was for, like, more of, like, the younger generations. It was more geared towards us. At the time when I worked there, I was 16 years old. So I loved makeup. I loved the whole lifestyle, basically. So yeah, I wanted to buy the makeup, but I had no idea. I didn't know that you had to sell it. I always went to farmers markets and saw the Avon, set up in the corner or whatever. And I think I bought some stuff from her. She was like directly selling it there, which I don't know if that's actually allowed. No clue if that's allowed. Let me know down below if you know anything about Avon or how that works. It was in a farmer's market or like a flea market type of situation. Let me know down below if that's actually, if you're allowed to do that, because I don't know. And that just seems very weird. Anyways, long story short, nothing went from there. Nothing far went from there. So then I got a string of like retail jobs, and then was looking for a job, and then I got recruited into Cutco, which at the time was called Vector Marketing. I showed up at this interview. I got called right away as soon as I applied. I got, the location, and mind you, like the location was somewhere like in downtown York. Somewhere in some weird place. And I thought it was, like pretty normal, I guess, to go to an office space. It was an actual office space. Now, at the time, you could rent office, like, conference rooms and stuff. And that's what they did, basically. So, basically, I went in there and was, like, dressed up, thinking I was going to an actual interview, and it wasn't. It was a whole room of people, just like myself, all dressed up. Literally, I'm telling you, I looked around at all these people and nobody knew what the heck was going on. So I hightailed my ass out of there because I was like, this is weird. I've never in my life, like, I don't care if you don't know anything about network marketing or MLMs. If you're doing a mass interview, that's a red freaking flag to begin with, right there, that alone. It's so weird to me because I had interviews before, but because I was so young, they preyed on, like, maybe you haven't had many jobs. Even if you've had 2 or 1 job, you know that the process of going there and going to an interview is the process. It's not, let me put you in this room full of other people and explain this opportunity to you. And yes, I'm going to give some air quotes with that because that was not real. That was BS. Now, I've been invited to parties, okay? I went to Pampered Chef parties. I went to Scentsy. And I've been to, I think it was a Mary Kay one. Very simple stuff. Again, I didn't know very much about MLMs at the time, but my philosophy is if I am not able to buy it directly from the site, or if it's not sold in the store, it's probably something weird and probably something you should look into because that's just strange to me. Because even at the company that I work for, you can go online and you can sign up for services yourself. You can do it. Yes, there are salespeople. Yes, every company has a salesperson, obviously, but you could still buy stuff directly from the site. It's just strange to me when they push it out to these things and then they're like, oh, well, you talk to a salesperson at most places, and it's like, yes, but you can still, like, go. But also, regardless of that argument, they're trying to sell you a product, not recruit you into a pyramid scheme, basically. They're not trying to recruit you. They're not trying to give you this, like, false lifestyle. They're literally just trying to sell you something, which is fine. That's sales. But I shouldn't have to join your team to get services. That would be, like, so weird to me if we were selling people our services at the company that I work for. And then we were like, oh, but to get these services every single month, you gotta be a part of our team. How weird is that? How weird is that? That's just weird. But anyways, so the weirdest MLM experience I have gotten was with Kirby Vacuums. I had an ex-husband at the time, and he actually worked for them. And they all would pile into a van, and then they would go to these various locations. I'm guessing Leeds or what have you. And they would display, like, basically do a presentation of why this vacuum is so amazing, right? Now, the one thing that I think from that whole experience that I remember that was mind-blowing to me was, like, the bath, or not the bath, the mattress vacuum, like, attachment. I thought that that was pretty mind-blowing. And it was very convincing. But the entire vacuum, I think, was like $600 and some dollars or $1,000. And it just didn't make sense to buy that for that one specific feature, you know? So anyways, I went with him to go to this presentation. And the guy was from a completely different country. You could tell he probably didn't know that it was a pyramid scheme. And I'm guessing, I'm alleging this is just my opinion, I think because he is foreign, that he was targeted for that reason. Because I don't know if they know what MLMs are overseas. Not really sure. I know that they're in other countries, but Ireland or Scotland, he moved here like 2 or 3 years prior to that. So I don't think, in my opinion, that he knew. Anyways, we start doing the presentation and stuff, and he literally started freaking the fuck out on basically my ex at the time and myself. I was literally only there to be a helper. And I thought that that was so fucking weird because I wasn't getting paid for it. I was also like 18, 19 years old. No idea. Had no clue. Again, they target these young people because they think that they don't know. Well, now our younger generations are going to know because people like myself and other creators are exposing these things because it is disgusting. It's predatory. Anyways, the guy started flipping out on us, and he was like, I was told that I was just getting my carpets cleaned. It was a free carpet cleaning. A free estimate, basically. That's false advertising, dude. It is. I was so mad because I was like, no, like, it's, it's an opportunity for you to sell, or if you would like to buy these, you can. And even those words coming out of my mouth, I was just like, there is seriously something wrong with all of this. And I felt very icky, very gross, and very weird about it. Very uncomfortable. Definitely uncomfortable. Because it was just kind of like, okay, we're gonna go to these random people's homes. Like, don't go to another location. And going to another location is so sketch. It's so sketchy. And it was just so weird. But the guy was basically told over the phone something completely different than what we were sent there to do. Which is, again, why I say these things are scummy. They're just scummy. It's lies, right? Now, I've had, like, family members work for these places, too, like LuLaRoe. For some reason, my grandma's church, all those women would sell that stuff. I wasn't a part of her church, but I was friends, like, on social media with several people, and they would sell LuLaRoe stuff. And I was just like, why? And I've read horror stories about that too. Now, like, I knew some people also that did It Works. My uncle definitely sold that stuff, was trying to sell it, was trying to be a part of it. He definitely, a couple of my family members on that side, they definitely got sucked into stuff like that, unfortunately, but it's that demographic. It's the lower income, it's the lower society, like the lower class, basically, society, unfortunately, that gets, targeted for these things. And then they promise this, like, lie of a lifestyle. It's like, you're going to make so much money off of this. It's like, no, you really won't, though. You really won't, though. You will lose more money than you will ever make. And if you do make a lot, it's because you've recruited tons of people, basically. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I wanted to share my story because I feel like that's important for just, to have a background. So let me know in the comments down below what you want me to talk about next, and I will see you later. Bye.